What if one of the most powerful foods for your brain, heart, and longevity was smaller than a marble, cost less than your morning coffee, and could be sitting in your refrigerator right now? For years, scientists have searched for the secrets behind healthy aging. Why do some people stay mentally sharp into their 80s and 90s? Why do certain populations experience fewer heart problems? And why are some foods repeatedly appearing in longevity research across the world? Surprisingly, one tiny fruit keeps showing up again and again: the blueberry. At first glance, it doesn't seem extraordinary. It's small, it's sweet, it's common. But hidden inside this tiny berry is a remarkable combination of nutrients and plant compounds that researchers have spent decades studying. Some experts even call blueberries one of nature's most powerful functional foods. But are they really that special? Can they actually support memory, help your heart, protect your body from aging? And what happens if you eat them consistently for weeks, months, or even years? Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind one of America's favorite fruits. And by the end of this video, you may never look at blueberries the same way again. Blueberries have become a symbol of healthy living. You'll find them in smoothies, breakfast bowls,
protein shakes, salads, even gourmet restaurants. But their popularity isn't just about taste. In recent decades, blueberries have attracted enormous attention from nutrition researchers. And here's what's fascinating. Many of the benefits associated with blueberries don't come from vitamins alone. Instead, they come from naturally occurring compounds that plants developed over millions of years to protect themselves. Sam, it turns out, those same compounds may help protect us too. But before we explore the science, let's travel back in time. Because the story of blueberries began long before supermarkets, health influencers, and nutrition labels ever existed.
Long before blueberries became a modern superfood, indigenous peoples across North America had already recognized their value. For thousands of years, Native American communities gathered wild blueberries from forests and open fields. These berries were more than food. They were medicine, they were survival, and they were deeply woven into cultural traditions. Blueberries were often dried and preserved for winter months. They were mixed into pemmican, a nutrient-dense food that could last for extended periods. In many communities, the berries were also used for healing purposes.
Generations passed down knowledge about their benefits long before laboratories and scientific journals existed. Then, something remarkable happened. Modern science eventually began discovering evidence that many of these traditional beliefs may have had a strong biological foundation. What ancient wisdom observed through experience, science started observing through microscopes. And that journey led researchers to one of the most intriguing nutritional discoveries of the last century. The deep blue color of blueberries isn't just beautiful, it's a clue. A clue that reveals why these berries may be far more powerful than they appear. Have you ever wondered why blueberries are blue?
The answer lies in a group of natural compounds called anthocyanins. These compounds create the rich blue and purple colors found in many fruits and vegetables. But color is only part of the story. Anthocyanins belong to a family of plant compounds known as polyphenols. Think of them as nature's defense system. Plants produce these compounds to protect themselves from environmental stress. And when we eat these plants, we may gain some protective benefits as well. Researchers have become particularly interested in anthocyanins because they appear to interact with several systems throughout the body, including the brain, the cardiovascular system,
and the body's natural response to oxidative stress. Now here's where things become fascinating. Many experts believe that oxidative stress plays a significant role in aging. It's one reason scientists often compare oxidative damage to tiny amounts of biological wear and tear accumulating over time. No food can stop aging, but certain foods may help support the body's ability to manage this process. And blueberries are among the most studied foods in this area. But that's only the beginning. Because the first major body system that may benefit from blueberries is arguably the most important one of all: your heart. Every second of every day, your heart works tirelessly, pumping blood, delivering oxygen, supporting every organ in your body. Yet heart disease remains one of the leading health concerns in America. That's why researchers constantly search for lifestyle habits that support cardiovascular wellness. Blueberries have emerged as one promising piece of that puzzle. Several studies have investigated whether the compounds inside blueberries may help support healthy blood vessel function. Healthy blood vessels need flexibility. They need to expand and contract efficiently, and they need to maintain smooth blood flow. Some research suggests that the polyphenols found in blueberries may contribute to these processes. Imagine your cardiovascular system an intricate highway network. When traffic flows smoothly, everything works efficiently. But when congestion develops, problems begin to appear. Foods rich in plant compounds may help support healthier traffic conditions inside that network. Of course, blueberries aren't a magic solution. No single food is. But combined with exercise, sleep, stress management, and an overall healthy diet, they may become a valuable ally. And here's something many people don't realize. The next benefit may be even more exciting. Because blueberries don't just appear to help the heart. They may also support the organ that defines who you are: your brain. Think about your favorite memories, your childhood, your wedding day, your first home, the face of someone you love. All of these experiences live inside one of the most complex structures in the known universe, the human brain. And as we age, protecting cognitive function becomes increasingly important. This is one reason blueberries have generated enormous interest among neuroscience researchers. Some studies suggest that the compounds found in blueberries may help support communication between brain cells. Others have explored potential connections between blueberry consumption and aspects of memory performance. While scientists continue investigating these relationships, one thing is clear: the brain thrives when supported by healthy lifestyle choices. Physical activity, quality sleep, mental stimulation, stress reduction, and nutrient-rich foods. Blueberries fit naturally into that picture. But the brain isn't the only area where these tiny berries continue to surprise researchers. Because what happens next may affect something millions of Americans think about every single day: their energy levels. Have you ever experienced that frustrating afternoon slump? You start the day feeling productive, focused, motivated. Then suddenly, your energy disappears. You reach for another coffee, a sugary snack, an energy drink, anything that promises a quick boost. But here's the problem. Many quick energy solutions create a cycle: a spike, then a crash, then another spike, then another crash. Blueberries work differently. They're naturally rich in carbohydrates, fiber, vitamins, and plant compounds that provide nourishment without overwhelming your system. The fiber helps slow digestion. This means energy tends to be released more gradually. Instead of a dramatic roller coaster, you get a smoother ride. Many people report feeling more satisfied and energized when blueberries become part of a balanced breakfast. Imagine starting your day with oatmeal, Greek yogurt, nuts, and blueberries. You're not just feeding your hunger. You're giving your body a diverse collection of nutrients that work together. And speaking of balance, the next benefit is especially important for millions of Americans because it involves one of the most discussed health topics of our time: blood sugar. Sugar often gets a bad reputation, but the real story is more complicated. Your body needs glucose. Your brain depends on it.
Your muscles use it. Your cells rely on it. The challenge isn't sugar itself. The challenge is balance. And maintaining that balance becomes increasingly important as we age. One reason blueberries continue attracting attention is their unique nutritional profile. Despite their sweet taste, blueberries contain fiber and beneficial plant compounds that may help support healthy metabolic function. Researchers have explored how berry consumption fits into healthy eating patterns designed to support blood sugar management. What's particularly interesting is that blueberries satisfy the desire for something sweet while also delivering nutrients many processed desserts lack.
Think about that for a moment. A food that tastes like a treat while providing fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. No wonder nutrition experts often recommend berries as one of the smartest fruit choices available. But blood sugar isn't the only thing influenced by what we eat. Our digestive system may be affected too. And that's where blueberries reveal another surprising strength. Inside your digestive system lives an entire ecosystem, trillions of microorganisms, collectively known as the gut microbiome. Scientists sometimes describe it as a hidden organ because its influence appears to extend far beyond digestion. Researchers continue exploring connections between gut health and immune function, mood, metabolism, brain health, and overall wellness. Now here's where blueberries enter the picture. The fiber found in blueberries can help nourish beneficial gut bacteria. And some researchers believe that blueberry polyphenols may interact with the microbiome in fascinating ways. Imagine your gut as a thriving garden. Helpful bacteria are the flowers. The fiber and plant compounds become part of the fertilizer that helps that garden flourish. A healthier garden often means a healthier environment. And when your digestive system feels good, everything tends to function a little better. But what if those same tiny berries could also help support something visible every day in the mirror? Your skin. Most people think of skincare as something that happens outside the body. Creams, serums, lotions, treatments. But many dermatologists agree on something important. Healthy skin begins from within. The foods you eat provide the building blocks your body uses every day. Blueberries contain vitamin C, a nutrient involved in collagen production. Collagen is one of the proteins that helps support skin structure. As we age, natural collagen production gradually declines. This is one reason many people become interested in foods rich in nutrients that support healthy skin. But that's not all. The antioxidants found in blueberries have also become a topic of interest because oxidative stress can affect skin appearance over time. No food can stop aging, and no berry can replace healthy habits. But nutrition is one piece of the larger picture, and blueberries fit beautifully into that story. Yet perhaps the most exciting conversation surrounding blueberries isn't about skin, or digestion, or even energy. It's about aging itself. Aging is inevitable. Every living thing ages. The question isn't whether we age. The question is how we age. Can we remain active longer? Can we stay independent longer? Can we maintain quality of life for more years? These questions drive some of the most important research happening today. And once again, berries frequently appear in those conversations. Researchers studying longevity often focus on dietary patterns rich in colorful fruits and vegetables. Why? Because these foods tend to contain compounds that support the body's natural defense systems.
Blueberries happen to be one of the richest sources of anthocyanins in the typical American diet. That's one reason they're often highlighted in discussions about healthy aging. What's particularly fascinating is that some of the world's healthiest dietary patterns share something in common. They emphasize plant foods, not miracle foods.
Not shortcuts. Plant foods. Blueberries fit naturally into that framework. And speaking of longevity, there's another body system we haven't discussed yet. One that protects you every day without you even noticing. Your immune system. Every day, your immune system performs millions of tasks behind the scenes. It identifies threats, coordinates responses, repairs damage, and helps maintain balance. Most people only think about immunity when they get sick, but true immune health is about consistent support over time. Blueberries contribute several nutrients that play roles in overall wellness, including vitamin C and various phytonutrients.
What's remarkable is how these nutrients work together. Nutrition isn't about a single vitamin, it's about synergy, a complex orchestra of compounds interacting within the body. That's why health experts often encourage people to eat a variety of colorful foods. Blueberries simply happen to be one of the easiest and most delicious ways to add color to your plate. And now we're about to explore a benefit that surprises many people, because it affects something nearly everyone wants more of: better sleep.
Sleep isn't a luxury. It's a biological necessity. During sleep, your body repairs. Your brain organizes memories, your hormones rebalance, and your cells perform countless maintenance tasks. Yet millions of Americans struggle to get enough quality rest. Can blueberries magically fix sleep problems? No. But nutrition and sleep are closely connected. When people maintain healthier overall dietary habits, sleep quality often improves, as part of the larger picture. Blueberries can be a satisfying evening snack when paired with foods like Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts.
This combination provides nutrients while avoiding the heavy feeling that some late-night foods create. And here's something intriguing. The connection between sleep and aging is stronger than many people realize. Which brings us to another remarkable area of blueberry research, the brain-aging connection. Let's meet Mary. Not a celebrity, not an athlete, just an ordinary woman in her mid-60s. A few years ago, Mary began noticing something that worried her. She was forgetting little things. Names, appointments, where she left her keys. Now, occasional forgetfulness is completely normal. But she wanted to become more proactive about her health.
So she started making small changes. Nothing extreme. More walking, better sleep, less processed food. And every morning, a bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries. Did blueberries transform her overnight? Of course not. But over time, she felt more energized, more engaged, more confident in her daily routines. The lesson isn't that blueberries are magical. The lesson is that small habits accumulate. Tiny choices repeated consistently can create meaningful change over the years. And that's exactly what many longevity experts emphasize. Consistency beats perfection. Every single time. By now, we've explored how blueberries may support your heart, your brain, your gut,
Your skin, your energy, your immune system, and healthy aging. But the most surprising discoveries are still ahead. Because in the next chapter, we're going to uncover why athletes are paying attention to blueberries, the biggest mistakes people make when eating them, fresh versus frozen, the best time of day to eat them, the myths that refuse to die, and the fascinating science behind why some researchers believe blueberries may be one of the smartest foods for long-term wellness. And trust me, what you're about to learn next may completely change the way you buy, store, and eat blueberries forever.
When most people think about sports nutrition, they imagine protein shakes, energy gels, electrolyte drinks, performance supplements. But increasingly, researchers and athletes are paying attention to something much simpler: whole foods. And blueberries are often part of that conversation. Why? Because intense exercise places stress on the body. That isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's how we become stronger. Every workout creates tiny challenges that encourage the body to adapt. The key is recovery. Recovery is where progress happens. Recovery is where muscles rebuild. Recovery is where tomorrow's performance begins. Some researchers have explored whether the antioxidant compounds in blueberries may help support the body's natural recovery processes after physical activity. While no food can replace proper training, sleep, and nutrition, blueberries have become a popular addition to post-workout meals. Imagine two people finishing the same workout. One grabs a sugary snack. The other chooses a smoothie with blueberries, yogurt, and protein. Both are eating, but one may be giving their body a broader range of nutrients, and over weeks, months, even years, those small differences can add up. But athletic performance isn't just about muscles. It's also about something many people overlook: inflammation. Inflammation is often misunderstood. Many people hear the word and immediately think it's bad. But inflammation is actually a natural part of life. It's one of the ways your body responds to challenges. The problem occurs when that balance becomes disrupted. Modern lifestyles can place enormous demands on the body: poor sleep, chronic stress, highly processed foods, lack of exercise. All of these factors may contribute to increased physiological stress. This is one reason nutrition researchers focus heavily on foods rich in plant compounds. Blueberries contain a variety of polyphenols that continue to attract scientific interest. These compounds are part of what makes blueberries stand out among fruits. Again, blueberries aren't medicine, and they aren't a cure. But they may contribute to an overall dietary pattern that supports long-term wellness. And here's something fascinating. The next benefit involves one of the senses people fear losing most when they age: their vision. Think about all the things your eyes allow you to experience: the smile of someone you love, a breathtaking sunset, your grandchildren playing, a favorite movie, a beautiful photograph. Vision shapes how we experience the world. And protecting eye health becomes increasingly important over time. Blueberries contain antioxidants that researchers continue to study for their potential role in supporting overall eye wellness. But here's the bigger lesson. Eye health doesn't depend on a single food. It depends on patterns. The healthiest eyes are often supported by diets rich in colorful fruits and vegetables, leafy greens, orange vegetables, colorful berries, healthy fats. Blueberries fit naturally into that picture. They become one small but meaningful piece of a much larger puzzle. And speaking of puzzles, there's one question many people still ask. Are fresh blueberries actually better than frozen? The answer might surprise you. If you've ever stood in the grocery store wondering whether frozen blueberries are inferior, you're not alone. It's one of the most common questions people ask. The answer? Not necessarily. In fact, frozen blueberries may be much closer to fresh blueberries than most people realize. Many frozen berries are harvested at peak ripeness, then frozen shortly afterward. This process can help preserve many nutrients. For some people, frozen blueberries offer advantages. They're available year-round. They last longer. They're often more affordable, and they're incredibly convenient. Fresh blueberries are wonderful too. Many people prefer the texture, the appearance, the experience of eating them whole. The truth is simple. The best blueberries are often the ones you'll actually eat consistently. Fresh or frozen, both can be excellent choices. But another question has sparked even more debate. Wild blueberries versus cultivated blueberries. Which one wins? At first glance, all blueberries may look similar.
But not all blueberries are exactly the same. Wild blueberries are typically smaller. Cultivated blueberries are usually larger. Wild varieties often contain a higher skin-to-flesh ratio. And remember what we learned earlier? Many beneficial plant compounds are concentrated in the skin.
This is one reason wild blueberries often receive attention in nutrition discussions. But here's the important perspective. Comparing wild and cultivated blueberries is a bit like comparing two luxury cars. One may have certain advantages, but both are still excellent. The bigger question isn't which blueberry is perfect. The bigger question is whether blueberries are regularly part of your lifestyle. Because consistency almost always matters more than perfection. And speaking of consistency, many people accidentally reduce the benefits they could receive. Not because blueberries are ineffective, but because they're making simple mistakes.
Let's talk about those next. Mistake number 1. Assuming blueberry-flavored products are the same as real blueberries. Blueberry candy, blueberry pastries, blueberry syrups, blueberry-flavored snacks. Many contain very little actual blueberry. Always look beyond the label. Mistake number 2. Only eating blueberries occasionally. Nutrition isn't built on rare heroic actions. It's built on repeated habits. A handful of blueberries once every 3 months won't transform your health. Consistency matters. Mistake number 3. Ignoring the bigger picture. Some people search for one miracle food, one shortcut, one secret. But health doesn't work that way.
Blueberries can be part of a healthy lifestyle. They cannot replace healthy habits. Mistake number 4. Adding excessive sugar. Many people take a naturally nutritious food and turn it into a dessert loaded with sweeteners. Sometimes simple is better. Fresh berries, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, smoothies. Simple combinations often work best. And now, we've arrived at one of the most important sections of this entire documentary. Because in the final chapter, we're going beyond nutrition, beyond science, beyond blueberries themselves. We're talking about something much bigger. How tiny daily choices can shape the future version of you.
One of the most common questions people ask is surprisingly simple. When should I eat blueberries? Morning? Afternoon? Before a workout? After a workout? Before bed? The truth is that there is no single perfect time, but there may be smarter ways to include them in your day. Many nutrition experts love blueberries at breakfast. Why? Because breakfast sets the tone for everything that follows. Imagine starting your morning with a bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries, walnuts, and cinnamon. Instead of beginning the day with a sugar rush, you're starting with fiber, nutrients, and satisfaction. Others prefer blueberries as an afternoon snack.
That period between lunch and dinner is often when cravings strike. The vending machine starts calling your name. The cookie jar becomes harder to ignore. A simple bowl of blueberries can help satisfy a sweet craving while contributing valuable nutrients. And then there's the evening option. Blueberries paired with Greek yogurt can create a light, satisfying snack that feels indulgent without being overly heavy. The best time? The time that helps you eat them consistently. Because once again, consistency beats perfection. Every single time. Blueberries are impressive on their own, but sometimes the magic happens when foods work together. Think of nutrition like an orchestra.
One instrument sounds beautiful, but an entire orchestra creates something extraordinary. One of the simplest combinations is blueberries and oatmeal. Fiber meets fiber. Texture meets sweetness. Convenience meets nutrition. Another favorite? Blueberries and Greek yogurt. The berries provide natural sweetness. The yogurt contributes protein. Together, they create a satisfying snack many people genuinely enjoy. Blueberries also pair beautifully with nuts. Almonds, walnuts,
pecans. The combination offers crunch, flavor, and variety. And then there are smoothies. A handful of blueberries, spinach, protein, Greek yogurt, a splash of milk.
In less than 2 minutes, you've created a nutrient-rich meal that can fit into even the busiest schedule. The lesson here is simple. Healthy eating becomes sustainable when it's enjoyable. And blueberries make healthy eating easier because they're both nutritious and delicious. But despite all the information available today, several myths continue to circulate. Let's clear them up once and for all. Myth number 1. Blueberries are a miracle cure. False. Blueberries are nutritious. They're impressive. They're well studied. But they are not magic. No single food can replace a healthy lifestyle. Myth number 2. You need expensive supplements instead of whole berries.
Not necessarily. Whole foods provide a complex package of nutrients working together naturally. That's one reason many nutrition experts encourage people to prioritize foods first whenever possible. Myth number 3. More is always better. Not true. Health is rarely about extremes. A reasonable serving consumed regularly is generally far more sustainable than dramatic overconsumption. Myth number 4. Only fresh blueberries have benefits. As we've discussed, frozen blueberries can be an excellent option. For many families, they're more practical and affordable. Myth number 5. Healthy eating has to be complicated. Absolutely not.
Sometimes healthy eating looks remarkably simple. A bowl of berries. A walk outside. A good night's sleep. A balanced meal. Small actions repeated consistently. That's where the real transformation happens. And speaking of transformation, let's hear 3 stories that illustrate what consistency can look like in real life.
Robert was 58 years old. Busy career. Long hours. Not enough exercise. Not enough sleep. And far too many drive-through meals. Then came a routine medical checkup. Nothing catastrophic. Nothing dramatic. Just a conversation that forced him to think. Where was his health heading? For the first time, Robert realized he wasn't investing in the future version of himself. So he made changes. Not radical changes. Simple ones. Daily walks. More vegetables. Better breakfasts. And blueberries became a regular part of his morning routine. Years later, Robert often says something interesting. The most important change wasn't the blueberries. It was what the blueberries represented.
A commitment. A reminder. A daily vote for the person he wanted to become. Sarah felt exhausted. Not sick, just constantly drained. She relied on coffee to survive her mornings and sugar to survive her afternoons. She wasn't looking for perfection. She was looking for sustainability. Gradually, she began replacing processed snacks with more whole foods. One of those foods was blueberries. Over time, she found herself building healthier routines around that single choice. More nutritious breakfasts, better hydration, more mindful eating. The lesson? One healthy habit often leads to another, like dominoes falling in the right direction. At 74, James still hikes.
Still gardens. Still travels. Still plays with his grandchildren. People often ask him for his secret. His answer disappoints those looking for shortcuts. Because there isn't one. James talks about sleep, movement, relationships, purpose, and nutrition. Blueberries happen to be one small part of his routine. Not because he expects miracles, but because he understands something profound. Healthy aging isn't built in a day. It's built in thousands of ordinary days. And that's a lesson worth remembering. Researchers studying some of the world's longest living populations often notice a pattern. These communities rarely obsess over superfoods. They don't chase every new health trend. Instead, they consistently practice healthy habits. They move regularly, eat plenty of plant foods, stay socially connected, manage stress, and maintain a sense of purpose. Blueberries fit beautifully into that philosophy, not because they're magical, but because they're one example of how nature can support health when included as part of a balanced lifestyle. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of this entire documentary. Health is rarely about extraordinary moments. It's about ordinary choices, repeated consistently, over time. Here's a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, add blueberries to your routine. Nothing extreme, just 1 serving each day. Maybe an oatmeal, a smoothie, Greek yogurt, a salad, or simply by themselves. Pay attention, not just to how you feel physically, but to what happens mentally. Sometimes the greatest benefit isn't nutritional. Sometimes it's psychological. Because every healthy choice reinforces a powerful identity. The identity of someone who values their future. Someone investing in long-term wellness. Someone choosing health before problems appear. In a world obsessed with dramatic transformations, it's easy to overlook the power of small things.
A short walk, an extra glass of water, a better night's sleep, a handful of blueberries. Tiny actions, tiny choices, tiny investments. Yet over the course of years, those tiny choices become something much larger. They become habits. Those habits become lifestyles. And lifestyles become destinies. Blueberries won't guarantee a long life. No food can make that promise. But they remind us of something important. Nature has provided remarkable tools. Simple tools. Accessible tools. Delicious tools. The question isn't whether blueberries are perfect. The question is whether we're willing to make small choices that support the future version of ourselves.
Because one day, the person you become will be shaped by the decisions you make today, including the seemingly insignificant ones. So the next time you see a handful of blueberries, don't just see a fruit. See a choice. A choice to nourish your body, support your future, and invest in the only place you'll ever truly live, your health. Thank you for spending this time with us. If you enjoyed this documentary and learned something valuable, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video with someone who cares about healthy aging, longevity, and living well. And remember, the path to better health is rarely built through giant leaps.
It's built through small steps, taken consistently, one day at a time. Fade to black.